Fifth class of EE311 Electrical Drives and Control for Automation, fifth class, session 5. In the last class, we have discussed the different types of DC generators according to the method of excitation. Okay, according to the method of excitation, generators are broadly classified into two. DC generators are broadly classified into two: separately excited generator and self-excited generator. Self-excited is again classified into, it is further classified into three: series generator, shunt generator and compound wound generator. Compound is again classified into two: long shunt compound and short shunt compound. Okay, there is one more classification. Long shunt compound is again classified into two: cumulative compound and differential compound. Okay, this is the basic classification of DC generators according to the method of excitation. In the last class, we discussed all these things. Today in this class, in this fifth class, we are going to discuss all these generators in detail. The first one, separately excited generator. So what is the main difference between separately excited generator and self-excited generator? As the name implies, in a separately excited generator, we are giving separate excitation to the field winding of a DC generator. We know that a DC generator has two windings: armature winding and field winding. Armature winding is in rotating part, that means rotor. Field winding is in stationary part, that means stator. To this field winding, we have to give an external DC source. We have to give a DC supply. The process of giving DC supply to the field winding of a machine for producing the flux is known as excitation. Here giving separate DC source, we are giving an external DC source to the field winding of this generator. Hence this generator is known as separately excited generator. So look at the figure. We are giving an external DC supply to the field winding with the help of a rheostat. By adjusting the rheostat, we can control the current flow, field current flow through the field current flow through the field winding. That means current flow through the field winding. By using that rheostat, we can control the current through the field winding. That current is known as field current. So we are giving an external DC supply to the field winding of the machine. Field winding is provided in the stationary part of the motor. Hence this machine is known as separately excited generator. We are giving separate source or external source to the field winding of the generator. Okay. Thus, by adjusting that field rheostat and DC supply source, we can regulate the field current. We can control the flux. This flux passes through the air gap and cuts the armature winding, which is provided in the rotor of the machine, and hence an EMF is induced according to Faraday's first law of electromagnetic induction. That is the basic working principle of a DC generator, whether it is separately excited generator or self-excited generator. In both cases, DC generator works on the principle of Faraday's first law. Okay, by using this in this case, by using the external DC source and rheostat, we can regulate the field current, and hence we can control the flux. This flux passes through the air gap and cuts the armature winding of the rotor, and hence an EMF is induced in that rotor. To control that EMF, we can vary the field current. When field current increases, flux increases, generated EMF also increases. When field current decreases, flux decreases, generated EMF decreases. Thus, by regulating the field rheostat, which is connected in series with the DC source, we can control the field current, we can control the flux, and hence we can control the generated voltage, denoted as E suffix G, generated EMF. EMF is generated in the armature winding, denoted as EG. Okay, so a load is connected across the armature. The thickened parts are brushes. So two brushes are provided on the either ends of the armature. Two thicker portions are shown in this figure are brushes. So brushes are fixed on either part of the armature. Load is connected across the armature and brushes. Load is connected across the armature and brushes. So an EMF is generated in the armature winding, denoted as EG. And due to this EMF, this armature can deliver a current flow through the load. It can deliver a current through the load, denoted as load current. Load current means current flowing through the load is load current, denoted as I suffix L. Current flowing through the armature is denoted as I suffix A, armature current. An EMF is generated in the armature, denoted as E suffix G, where Ra is the armature resistance. Two thicker portions are shown on the either part of armature. It is called as brushes. Here there are two brushes on either side of the armature. So armature current IA is equal to load current IL, because load is connected in series with the armature and brushes. Okay, so armature current IA is equal to IL. So look at the equation on the right hand side of the slide. Armature current IA is equal to load current IL, because in a series circuit current is same. This is in a series circuit current is same. Load is connected in series with the armature, so IA is equal to IL. Then voltage available across the load is represented as V. It is nothing but a terminal voltage. Voltage available across the load. Load means energy consumable devices are load. All the household appliances are load. Load which consumes energy. So voltage across the load is represented as V. Terminal voltage V is equal to generated EMF EG minus voltage drop in the armature IARA. Please by heart all these equations. Terminal voltage V is equal to EG minus IARA, where IARA is the armature voltage drop. From that we will get EG is equal to V plus IARA, where V is the voltage available across the load. EG is the generated EMF in the armature of the machine. What about power? Power developed is equal to power developed generated power P suffix G. Generated power P suffix G. PG is equal to generated power is equal to generated EMF into armature current EG into IA. PG is equal to EG into IA. What about power delivered to the load? Delivered power PD is equal to V into IL. That means power available across the load is equal to V into IL. So generated EMF EG, voltage available across the load V. So EG minus IARA is equal to V. Generated power PG is equal to EG into IA, voltage into current. Voltage means generated EMF EG, current means armature current IA. Power delivered to load or power consumed by the load is equal to V into IL. I think it is clear. So these are the basic fundamental equations in connection with a separately excited generator. What about self-excited generator? Here we are not giving an external source to the field winding of this machine, because in the last class I told you the basic difference between separately excited generator and self-excited generator. Self-excited generator, the field winding of self-excited generators have the capability of producing the flux of its own. No need to give an external DC source to the field winding of the machine, because the field windings of the self-excited machines have a particular character. That means they have the capability of producing the flux of its own. No need to give an external DC source for producing the flux. That property, the capability of producing the flux of its own, means the field windings of the self-excited generators should have the property of residual magnetism. ഇതെല്ലാം ലാസ്റ്റ് ക്ലാസ്സിൽ പറഞ്ഞതാണ്. വാട്ട് ഈസ് മെന്റ് ബൈ റെസിഡ്യൂവൽ മാഗ്നറ്റിസം? ദ എമൗണ്ട് ഓഫ് മാഗ്നറ്റിസം retained in a material after the removal of magnetizing force. Even if we are removing the magnetizing force, there will be a magnetism exists. That exists magnetism is called as a residual magnetism. So all self-excited generators should have the property of residual magnetism. Therefore, we are not giving any external DC source to the field winding. Here, armature and field winding are connected in series. Field winding is in stator and armature winding is in rotor. Both are connected in parallel, and the load is connected across this parallel circuit. Load is connected across this parallel circuit. In short, field winding, armature and load are connected in parallel. As in the earlier case, in this case also brushes are fixed on the either side of the armature. In this figure, the thicker portions are brushes. So two brushes are placed on two sides of the armature. Okay, here current flowing, the field winding of this generator has the capability of producing the flux of its own. That flux is called a residual magnetism. That residual magnetism cuts the armature winding of the rotor, and EMF is induced in the armature. Okay, so then that induced EMF in the armature is denoted as EG. Okay, generated EMF is EG. So this generated EMF is very low because the residual magnetism is very low. So because of the two windings are connected in parallel, this generated EMF is passing through the field winding, then field current increases, flux increases, and this increased flux cuts the armature winding, and the EMF is slowly developing. There is a voltage build-up process takes place in the case of a shunt generator. After building the voltage build-up in a DC shunt generator, we can give load across the generator. We are allowed to give the load across the generator only after the voltage build up in a DC shunt generator. First of all, we are not giving any external load to this shunt generator. First of all, we have to build up the voltage in this armature. For that, the field winding of this machine has the capability of producing the flux of its own. That means residual magnetism. This residual magnetism is very weak. This weak flux cuts the armature winding and low voltage is induced in the armature. This voltage is giving to the field winding because the field winding and armature are connected in parallel, and the field current increases, flux increases. That means residual magnetism slowly increasing. This increased flux cuts the armature winding and more EMF is induced in the armature winding. This more EMF is again passed to the field winding, and residual magnetism is further increasing, and this cumulative process continues till the rated voltage is developed across the armature. This process is known as voltage build up in a DC shunt generator. It is not a sudden process, it is a gradual process. Okay, after being the voltage developed across the generator, across the armature of the generator, we can connect the load across the generator. Okay, after that, the generated EMF can circulate a current through the load and field winding. Okay, generated EMF in the armature can deliver the current through the load and at the same time field winding. So current flowing through the armature is represented as IA. At a particular point, IA is split into two. So one section is flowing through the load and other section is flowing through the shunt field. Okay, therefore we can say IA is equal to ISH plus IL. Okay, such type of division doesn't take place in the case of a separately excited generator. So current flowing through the armature is armature current. Current flowing through the armature is armature current. At a particular point, this armature current is split into two parts. A part of the armature current is flowing through the shunt field winding, denoted as shunt field current, and the rest of the current is flowing through the load current. Rest of the current is flowing through the load, denoted as load current. Therefore, we can write IA is equal to ISH plus IL. IA is equal to ISH plus IL. What about shunt field current? For getting the shunt field current, ISH is equal to V by RSH, because V is the voltage available across the load. The same voltage is available across the shunt field winding also, because the shunt field and load are connected across the armature. Both are parallel circuits across the armature. Shunt field and load are parallel circuits across the armature. So voltage in a parallel circuit, voltage is same. If the voltage available across the load is V, definitely the voltage available across the shunt field winding will be V. Okay, so shunt field current ISH is equal to, according to Ohm's law, I is equal to V by R. So voltage available across the shunt field winding is V, and the resistance of that shunt field winding is RSH. Therefore, ISH is equal to V by RSH. Then what about terminal voltage? Terminal voltage means voltage available across the load is equal to the generated EMF EG minus armature voltage drop IARA. V is equal to EG minus IARA. What about power developed? Power developed PG is equal to EG into IA, voltage into current, generated EMF in the armature into current flowing through the armature. That is developed power in the armature of a DC shunt generator. Power delivered to the load. Power delivered to the load means what? Power. The basic equation for power is voltage into current. So voltage available across the load is equal to V into voltage available across the load into current flowing through the load. Therefore, V into IL. What about the generated power or power developed? Basic equation is V into I. So generated voltage in the armature is EG and current flowing through the armature is IA. So power developed PG is equal to EG into IA. Okay. So one important thing you have to note that current flowing through the armature is split into two sections. A section of the current is flowing through the shunt field denoted as ISH, and the rest of the current is flowing through the load denoted as IL. Therefore, we can say IA is equal to ISH plus IL. Okay, so these are the fundamental equations in connection with the shunt generator. There is a major process. Voltage build up in a DC shunt generator is an important topic. So before giving the load across the shunt generator, first of all we have to build up the voltage in the armature of the generator. For that purpose, I am repeating, shunt field winding can produce a field current because it has the property of a residual magnetism. Shunt, then that sheet winding can produce a flux. Due to this flux, an EMF is induced in the armature. This induced EMF is very low because of the weak residual flux. This EMF is again passing through the shunt field, and field current increases, residual magnetism strengthens. This increased flux cuts the armature and more EMF is induced in the armature. This more EMF is again passing through the shunt field current, and this process continues, and this accumulation continues till the rated voltage is developed across the armature. That generated voltage is generated EMF in the armature is represented as Eg. Okay. What about a series generator? In a series generator, armature winding and field winding are connected in series. In a shunt generator, armature winding and shunt field winding are in parallel. In a separately excited generator, there is no connection between armature winding and field winding. The field is connected across the separate DC source. So see this difference. Self-excited generators are classified into shunt generator, series generator and compound generator. In a shunt generator, armature winding and shunt field winding are in parallel. But in the case of series generator, armature winding, field winding and load are connected in series. So the voltage buildup of a series generator is entirely different from the voltage buildup of a shunt generator. Here, in the case of shunt generator, first of all, we have to build up the voltage. After that, we can give the load across the generator. But in this case, in order to build up the voltage in a series generator, first of all, it is necessary to connect the load in series with the generator. Then only the voltage can develop. In the case of shunt generator, don't give load first. First of all, build up the voltage. Then we can connect the load across the shunt generator. Series generator, first of all, it is necessary to connect the load in series with the generator. Without the help of load, it is not possible to build up the voltage in a series generator. So voltage build-up process is entirely different in the case of a shunt generator and a series generator. Moreover, in this case, in the case of series generator, the field winding is series field winding. In the earlier case, that means in the case of shunt generator, the field winding is shunt field winding. The electrical characteristics of shunt field winding and series field winding are entirely different. In the earlier class, in the 4th class, I told you that shunt field winding consists of large number of turns of fine wire. Series field winding consists of thick wire, few turns. Series field winding consists of thick wire, few turns. So it has low resistance. Series field winding has low resistance, therefore it can produce less flux than that of the shunt field winding. So electrically stronger field winding is shunt field winding because it has more resistance. Series field winding consists of thick wire, few turns, so low resistance, it can create low flux. So first of all, this armature winding and field winding and load are connected in series. This field winding also has the capability of producing the flux of its own, that is residual flux or residual magnetism. This flux cuts the armature and then an EMF is induced in the armature. This EMF is also very low because our residual magnetism is also very weak. So this EMF can circulate a current through the field and load. So here the armature current and field current and load current are same because armature, series field and load are connected in series. In a series circuit, current is same. In a parallel circuit, voltage is same. Look at the earlier figure. In this case, IA is equal to ISH plus IL because shunt field and load are connected across the armature. In this case, field and load are connected in series with the armature. Therefore, IA is equal to IL is equal to ISC, series field current. IA is equal to ISC, series field current is equal to load current. So the equation is different from that of the shunt generator because in the earlier case, in the case of shunt generator, IA is equal to ISH plus IL. Here it is not so. All the three currents are same because all the three windings, armature winding, field winding and load are connected in series. So current flowing through the armature, armature current, current flowing through the load, load current, current flowing through the field, field current, all the three are same. So armature current IA is equal to ISC is equal to IL. So this low generated EMF can circulate a current through the series field and load, and then more current is then the current through the field winding is slowly increasing. Current through the field winding is slowly increasing. The field current is increasing, flux is increasing. This increased flux cuts the armature winding, and then the generator voltage is also increasing slowly. This increased voltage can circulate a strong current through the field and load. Then field current is again increasing, flux is increasing, and generator voltage is also increasing. The more generator voltage can circulate a more current through the series field, and then the flux is increasing and the generated EMF is increasing. This cumulative process takes place. Okay, so this is the voltage build-up process of a series generator. So terminal voltage V is equal to, terminal voltage means it is the voltage available across the load, is equal to Eg minus IaRa minus ISC-RSC. Eg minus IaRa minus ISC-RSC. That means generated EMF minus IaRa means armature voltage drop minus ISC-RSC means voltage drop in the series field. So V is equal to Eg minus IaRa minus ISC-RSC. What is the power developed? Power developed in the generator is equal to generated EMF into current flowing through the armature. Generated EMF Eg into current flowing through the armature Ia. So power developed Pg is equal to Eg into Ia. Power developed Pg is equal to Eg into Ia. So power delivered to the load PD is equal to V into IL. Power delivered to the load PD is equal to V into IL. That means voltage available across the load into current flowing through the load. So this is the these are the basic equations of a series generator. The voltage build-up process of series generator is entirely different from that voltage build-up process of a shunt generator. I think it is clear. Okay.